May 6th, 2019. This is the Bonneville Shoreline Trail on Mount Olympus. It's a new day, and it's a new day to remember. To cherish life, to reject the dogmas and doctrines of the anti-humans. Use your bits and pieces to make as many effing babies as you possibly can in a stable, inherently reproductive couple. Revolutionary. A revolutionary idea in today's death culture. Reject death, embrace life. How did you get here in the first place? How? Oh, I think I've made it to the juniper trees. Nice circle trail. All right. I have to remember where this is. Reject death, embrace life. There's no such thing as an overpopulation problem. No such thing. I agree with Jordan Peterson on that point. No such thing as an overpopulation problem. For example, what Europe and some of America suffers from is as I mentioned this before, I'll mention it again because it's a new day to promote life. What Europe suffers from is a failure to fuck, a failure to have kids. And so, as a result, their childless leaders, neurotically, and probably for evolutionary reasons, iron-fistedly import mass numbers of retrograde religious cultists to breed, to make children on their behalf. Iron-fistedly. Jailing detractors, criminalizing speech, criminalizing verbal utterances, and typing. When a government seeks to criminalize verbal utterances or typing, or both, you know there's some bad shit going down. Bad shit goes down when you have a failure to fuck in your own personal life and in the general status of a country. A failure to fuck. Failure to fuck. Don't have a failure to fuck, my friends. If you have a failure to fuck, then you'll have a petty, dead-end life. Yes, you can choose to adopt. That goes a bit the extra mile because by default, the most natural state is for us to produce children en naturel in an inherently reproductive couple. But if you are able to adopt because you had a failure to fuck earlier in your life, so be it. I think if you're about my age, being an older father, if you had a failure to fuck earlier, then you should probably adopt. How about I suggest a 6, 8, or 10-year-old? No younger than that. 6, 8, or 10-year-old. If you had a failure to fuck earlier in your life. So, anyway, that's it. Hello. slow hiker passing me. Anyway, so, let's see here. Going on down the trail. Climate hysteria. Climate change hysteria wants people to engage in a failure to fuck. Racist eugenicist Margaret Sanger wanted to help, quote unquote help, a great number of black people to have a de facto failure to fuck, or more likely, mass baby murder in the baby killing abattoir known as Planned Parenthood. If you kill your baby in utero, you still have a failure to fuck. It's just a more bad kind than the European kind. Although they have a failure to fuck with regard to abortion as well. Baby killing, otherwise known as so, climate change hysteria is a Ponzi scheme. It's a resource acquisition seeking, greedy, conniving, anti-life, and very much a pro getting money for the charlatans who bleat this bullshit to the world. Very much a resource acquisition and power acquisition scheme for them. The preachers, the advocates, and even the scientists who are not really engaging in science within that endeavor, they are in it for the money. It's a de facto religion, and an anti-life one, because it seeks to get into the brains of other people, such as my sister Janice, who lives in Homer, Alaska, who probably won't watch this video, but even if she does, well, maybe she could adopt a 15-year-old. How about that? Since he's a bit older than me. 10 to 15-year-old. My sister Janice in Homer, Alaska, should probably do that if she could have a responsible home life that's not just centered around partying. So, my sister Janice got in her brain that there was an overpopulation problem, and then the climate hysteria stuff comes in. But a lot of the dumb shittery from the left, on the left, comes from what you might think are good intentions, but it shows how even with good intentions, supposedly, you can still just do the same old, very human thing of trying to have a scheme that engages in resource acquisition for you, causing words to come out of your mouth or typing. If that is a resource acquisition engaging activity, then you benefit, right? Resource acquisition activity for you. Screw other people. Screw other people. Who cares if they don't have kids, right? If you're a climate change hysteric advocate, speaker, leader, who cares if other people don't have kids? What matters is you get to have more cash. Does that sound cynical? Nah. It's not cynical, it's truthital. Truthital. Okay? It's not truthiness, it's truthitalness. Since Stephen Colbert is an utter dumb shit. It's truthfulness. Okay. Are you a truthophobic? When my sister, a different sister, two hippie sisters, different hippie sister, Jill, she, unfortunately, her first son got sucked into the Stonewall faggy fag culture. LGBTQ PZ. The P stands for a predator who preys upon children. The Z stands for other dumb shittery. Anyway, first son got sucked into that petty dead-end waste of a life situation. Petty, dead-end, abusive waste of a life. First son got sucked into that. And she essentially encouraged it. She embraced it. She encouraged it. Dumb shit hippie culture. Baby boomer. The baby boomers who turn their backs on baby making because of their denialist dumb shittery. The baby boomer hippie, all their life. Never rejected hippie culture. Never really was true to her marriage completely. Always kind of have one foot in hippie culture. Even as an ultra Mormon. Well, I mean, I don't think she ever really was ultra, just or for show Mormon, who's really just remained an abusive, denialist, abusively permissive hippie. First son got sucked into faggy fag. And then when she got a degree in social work, and she came over to my house recently and said, when I expressed to her that about, the fact that transgenderism is a cultural fad and so is being sucked into the dead and petty life of Stonewall in general, a cultural fad, a bad set of memes that are hijacking people into dead and petty dead end lives. People who could easily, if they put their mind to it, have children born en naturel into an inherently reproductive couple. When I expressed to her those things, she said, well, are you a closet faggy fag? That was fascinating. Fascinating to be accused of that by my sister, who got educated in, social work, the so-called social sciences, which aren't really sciences. They're inculcated with French, culturally Marxist, postmodernist dogma and doctrines. The blank slate people. The equal outcome people versus equal opportunity. Anyway, those people. Okay.
Good morning.
Hello. So she got educated by those people. And 1 moment. And they basically teach that if you deny leftist dogma, this is kind of a more fundamental reason as to why leftists, when they have their dogmas questioned, they take this route of argument. So which isn't a very good quality, but they accuse their detractors of their dogma to be crazy, or, I guess, phobic, like you have a mental disease, a phobia. A phobia, Islamophobia, homophobia, transphobia. No, it's truthia, truthitulness. Islamo-truthitulness indicates that Islam that is a mix between Obama and Islam, which is not a mistake on my part. But Islam, a death cult, but it's one that within Islam, lots of beebs are being produced, but if you're on the borders of Islam, they'll grind you down to nothing. You're either in or out, and if you're out, you gotta pay the jizya, or you're a kufr, a damn kufr, who's worth nothing, and who can be raped and pillaged. That's Islam. Islamotruthia. Islamotruthia. And homo, and trans, truthia, truthitulness, indicates that those are largely cultural fads. Largely abusive cultural fads that suck many young people and adults into petty, dead-end lives. So, we're just about to 17 minutes on my commentary during my hike. So remember, it's a new day. Celebrate life. Use your bits and pieces to create as many babies as possible within a stable and largely abuse-free or less abuse-free, but no one's perfect, but just saying, stick with it. If you need help, get help, but stick with it, because you only get one shot here. Jesus ain't gonna save you. The Jesus meme might help save you, but memes are sets of ideas. Whew. Nice spring blossoms up here. Muhammad sure as fuck ain't gonna save you. He'll screw you up and tie your brain down. Stonewall ain't gonna save you. LGBTQPZ dumb shittery have your evolved sexual energies diverted into a bunch of dead-end stupidness, and you'll have a life robbed of children, and you'll be turning your back on the 1.2 billion year evolutionary process that brought you here in the first place. 1.2 billion being the amount of time sex has existed on this planet. So have a good, inherently reproductive day if possible. If you're a single mother, you made a big mistake, or maybe your former partner did, but find a man. Get a man into the lives of your kids. And you'll have to convince the new man how you're not an unstable weirdo. Why'd you dump the first guy? So, single parenthood, also bad. Stable, inherently reproductive couple, man and wife couple, is what children need for their own best well-being, for evolutionary and human nature reasons. Not because some God said so, but because evolution is really a de facto God, in that it, by the way it works, it most beneficially defines how we get useful traits. All right, that's it.